So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very, very important segment, the segment where we discuss everything to do with the travel and the travel updates with Tanvi Goel. And tell you what, you have to wish us all the best. This is our 52nd episode, which makes it complete year. So that technically makes it our anniversary. And of course, looking at Tanvi is appearing in sari for the first time on the show as well. With that introduction, welcome to the show, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Umeshi, and thank you so much, everyone, for such an overwhelming response. And yes, we're completing 1 year today. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And also would like to wish you all a very, very happy Ram Navami. May the 9 days and 9 nights of Navratri bring you and your family good health and fortune. I hope you all had really amazing 9 days and all festivity coming around. So wish you all a very happy Ram Navami. Before we go ahead, just a little disclaimer. And discussion we have today is general information only, as rules and regulations can change anytime.
And of course, they do, and it is, as Tanvi has mentioned, that if you have your individual cases, please do consult Tanvi and she will be able to assist you. Individual cases do differ. The conversations and the information providing is generic by nature as well. Well, with that, let's get straight into the show. So, any update of Australia at this point in time?
Yes, Meshi and everyone, there are so many updates today, and have been looking, and I thought, okay, let me give you the main one. But yeah, there are lots of them. In fact, for the rest of the year, we are looking for lots of updates, which will definitely bring to you every week. So, first of all, about Australia, we are starting with Australia. So Australia will be promoted at a travel destination in Expo in Dubai. I thought I'll tell you guys in this particular section because it's really very, very proud moment for us as well that Australia is participating there. And in this month, joining around 192 participant nation at one of the biggest business and trade events. During the course of 6 months event, the Australian Pavilion Team Blue Sky Training will host around 140 business and investment events, 180 performance, 600 sporting activities, and more than 100 Australian speakers going to be there in this particular event. So it's really great, and stay tuned for that as well. Next is from New South Wales government, and they have confirmed that fully vaccinated Sydney-siders will need to wait until the state reaches 80% of the double jab before travel to regional areas will be permitted. So newly installed Deputy Premier and the Minister for Regional New South Wales, Paul, related that it would be still a few weeks away before the resident from Greater Sydney can travel out to the region for holidays or recreation. We know the people are busting to get out and explore the vast of the bush, but at this stage, it's not something you can do and you can rush, but it may take a few weeks from now. Next is from Qantas. They have finalized a deal with the Northern Territory government to operate its direct routes from Australia to London and via Darwin when international flights resume next month. So, sorry, this particular section should be in the international one, but since it's a Qantas, and we have other updates of Qantas as well, that's why we got in this month. And Qantas also got some other offers traveling all around the country. So if you guys are thinking for having your holidays for Christmas or New Year after, you can definitely check out. There's so many amazing deals available for most of the cities in Australia. Next is from Virgin Australia. So Virgin Australia will reintroduce their flight between Sydney, Melbourne and Coffs Harbour. So that will be starting from 1st of November after being suspended for almost 7 months now. Services are now on sale and to mark and return. So Virgin Australia is offering now one-way economy fare as well. So it's just $49. It's starting from, and service will amount around 20,000 people per month between these 3 destinations. The 3 destinations are Sydney, Melbourne to Coffs Harbour. And next, guys, so if you, as I mentioned before, that there are quite a few deals happening and restrictions are easing as well as statewide, so definitely check your, the state restrictions and rules and regulations, but there are so many offers of tours as well, which you can check on our website as well, which is www.auxiliatravel.com.au under the Australian section. Just not to buy as well, you can see what are the suppliers, changing, in tours as well, and you can plan for a year ahead over there as well. So this is a main update.
Well, and that is very wonderful news. It all indicates that a lot of things are going to be back on track and starting to open up. This is the tip. Just mark the words that, in a few months' time, it will be a complete different scenario. I reckon the turnaround is just around the corner. Well, having said that, let's move on and let's get any update from Australia to India.
So Australia to India, guys, also so many things happening. I think you all must be watching our Prime Minister's new releases being happening. One of them came 3 days back as well. In this one, let me just read it out to you. He mentioned that at the moment they are bringing Australian citizens and Australian citizens and PRs from India, and then we'll be having country residents and students. Before they can open for the tourists at this stage. And also there are a lot of updates about India as well, that it's happily opening for tourism in India. So there was a press release which I thought I'll go over to you once a little bit. So the government of India has announced resuming tourist visa for charter flights to start from 15th of October, which means from tomorrow. For scheduled flights, passengers, the individual flights will be from 15th of November onwards. So as you guys know that they are the normal tourist visa was suspended last year in March 2020. But after that, there was an entry visa applicable which people could take. But in a press release on 12th of October, they mentioned that they really, government want to encourage everyone to come to India whenever it's settled. And for the group tourists, they're starting 15th of October, as I mentioned. And for the normal or individual tours, it's from 15th of November. Now, there is another interesting thing that to start, they have got around 500,000 tourist visa, which will be issued free of charge as well. So please check that if you are eligible for that. And the only thing in this one is that if you're going for tourism purposes in India, and you can stay in this visa for around 30 days with a single entry. So that's the main thing about that one. But yeah, if you are guys coming from any other commercial, non-commercial flight, still you can go to India and see which visa you can go for. And if you're going for 30 days, you might apply for this visa. You can also get more information on indianvisaonline.gov.in/e-visa. There are heaps of details available online there as well on this particular website. So regular tourist visa can be applied through VFS as well. And remember, VFS have their own fees, which you have to pay, even though government got the free visas they're giving. But if you're doing through VFS, they might have their own fees as well. So it's really amazing to see that India is opening. So I thought I'll give you this little update. If you need to see the whole press release, you can always message us or find on our page as well. Everything is available over there. Please.
And of course, that is wonderful. And I know there are some other countries where the visa-free travel between India and those countries have been announced as well. So that is just wonderful news happening out there. Well, moving on, let's look at Brisbane. So what are the flight options from Brisbane?
Okay, so from Brisbane, guys, we have plenty of flights, at least 3-4 flights a week going from Brisbane to all main airports of India. Now, before we go ahead into this one, I just want to tell you guys once again that from Australia, there are main two airlines flying, Emirates and Qatar. Now, Emirates got 4.5 hours hold option for Delhi, and for other states, they still have 9 to 22 hours hold option. And they are not giving any free lounge or hotel at the moment, just for your information. And Qatar also got 6-7 hours hold, from 6-7 hours hold to 14 hours hold options. And if you want to book any other airlines, then I would say probably it's best to wait for some time. Because at this stage there are so many airlines online as well on different websites showing the schedules available. But I would recommend you guys to still stick with Emirates or Qatar, because you never know if things changes, then it's really hard to get your refund back where the policy is up to 180 days. So from Brisbane, there are plenty of flights. We have a group going pretty much and middle of the month, each month. So this month we still have a couple of weeks left in 17th of October, if you think still you want to go. And also, I would really give you guys a tip now that if it's really important for you to go to India in next 3 months, best to book your flight as soon as possible, because after all these announcements, fares are going crazy. For example, if you guys remember, I told you last week or last week as well that fares are starting from 999 for less than $1,000. So if you talk about December, the fares are already starting from $1,300 to $1,400 now. And close to the Christmas and all, fares are already about $2,000. And if you're planning to come back from India in February after, I would say both ways at the moment, because there is really a very big demand and supply is still left at the moment unless government opens the borders. But yeah, there are plenty of flights, but fares are going crazy. So I think, whether if you're going, that's the best as possible. So from Brisbane, the flight is Emirates flying Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are some Saturdays as well on 13 days, which means 15, 16, 17, 19. And Qatar is also flying 14, 16, 19. So they are generally on Tuesdays and Saturdays from Brisbane.
Well, that's wonderful news there. Right now, moving on, let's go to Sydney and get an update from flights from Sydney.
So from Sydney also, there are plenty of flights, at least 3 to 4 flights a week. I'll tell you, there is a really best thing in Sydney is that if you need to fly an emergency and you have literally 6 hours left, you can still fly, because at the airport they have 1 hour and 4 hours COVID test report option, and that's only airport in Australia probably got that option. And there are plenty of flights as well. So Monday, Thursday and Saturdays, you have Emirates flights. And Qatar flights, you have Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, which means 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, the whole week you have flights from Sydney.
Okay, so that is once again good news. And one of the things that you mentioned about the time that, even in tight schedule, there could be a quick turnaround. Well, that is all indicative of what's happening and what it would be like in moving forward. So in moving forward in our show today, let's talk about Melbourne. So what are the flight updates from Melbourne?
So from Melbourne, guys, flights are going as usual as well. We know there are some cases happening and, still things are opening up, but there is no impact on the flight departing from Melbourne to India. So Emirates flights are every Wednesday, Fridays and Saturdays. And Qatar flights are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays, which means on 13, 15, 16, 17, 20th, we have 4 or 5 flights in a week from Melbourne.
Okay, so still quite a number of flights is still happening there. And moving on, let's go to Adelaide, South Australia. What's the update from there?
So from South of Australia as well, there are plenty of flights for Qatar Emirates. We generally recommend Qatar because they are going with one stop. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays, you have Qatar flights, and Wednesday, Fridays and Saturdays, you have Emirates flights from Adelaide.
Okay, so that's good. There's some options there as well. And now moving on to the other part of the country, going all the way to Western Australia. So what are the updates from Perth at this point in time?
So from Perth, again, there are plenty of flights of Emirates and Qatar. You have Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays are Emirates flights, and Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays are Qatar flights. Which means you can see between Monday to Wednesday, there are less flights. So if someone going on those days, we generally connect them from Melbourne or sometimes Brisbane as well. But yeah, these flights are on and off between Monday to Wednesdays, but they are plenty of flights from Perth.
Okay, yes, that's got Perth covered up. Well, now moving on, I think one of the other parts that many people are always interested in are updates of India. So what's happening in India? So any update of India, or maybe India to Australia as well?
So from India to Australia, guys, there are still very less flights available. I think most of the charters also waiting for government to open up and give the good news. So like we heard, in New South Wales might open from 1st of November. and they might have maybe unlimited international arrival caps, or at least restriction might ease, or there may be more numbers can come. So because of that, there are less charters, released for November or after from now. So right now, only charter of 5th of November, Malaysian Airlines is available, which you might book, and the cost is around $6,000 per person. And second option is you can probably get some last-minute flights if you require, of Qatar Airways, Emirates, Japan Airlines, and Airlines. So these are the 4 ones who've got some last-minute flights, which means when someone else cancels, you might get those flights. And Deferred also got some flights coming up. So if you are still in citizen of PR, or the PR citizen spouse or kid, you can definitely apply for Deferred flights. Just register with them. That's very, very important. So, but we are waiting for a lot of updates from India to Australia, and hopefully, if the caps increases from November, we might have so many people can come up. But if you guys can come from February after, there are plenty of flights available to book.
Sorry. Yeah. So moving on, after that, people also would like to know what can we, do internationally at this point in time.
So internationally, guys, there are most of the countries opening the borders, and the restrictions are easing up, and things are really going good. So start with New Zealand. So the New Zealand government has flagged the rollout of digital vaccine passport for travel, and is unlikely to contain COVID-19 vaccine certificate accessible by QR codes, similar to the Australian model. So dates of the launch is expected to be from the start of November, with more details will be shared in coming weeks as well. But the passport will initially be trial for larger scale events, and then we're going to do it usually as well. So there is really a lot happening in New Zealand as well, and hopefully it's going to we'll be able to go easily and freely to New Zealand very soon. Next is from Fiji. So Fiji Prime Minister confirmed an easing of restrictions, including the removal of the quarantine requirements for arrival and designated travel partner countries such as Australia, New Zealand, US, UK, most of the Pacific Island nations, and more. So tourists from these markets will have no quarantine requirements from 11th of November, ahead of the official opening date, which was 1st of December, when the first Fiji Airways tourist flight will be commenced. So after showing proof of vaccination or testing, negative report for COVID negative report 72 hours before departure, visitors will arrive in Fiji and then head straight to their hotel, where they will spend the first 2 days in the country. Now they won't need to, you don't have to lock down in a room. You can still use all the hotel amenities and settle over there, and then a rapid diagnostic test will be taken 48 hours after the arrival, will grant them a free reign of safe travels around the place. So that's really fantastic news as well, that very soon we'll be able to fly to Fiji, and since there are flights available to book as well. I think Umesh would be very happy for Fiji too.
Okay, just 1 second there, Tanvi, while we're there. So, let's take a look at this.
So the announcement was made by Fijian Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama to coincide with Fiji's Independence Day celebrations. So Australians will be able to have a holiday in Fiji. In order to do so, they'll have to prove that they've been fully vaccinated and return a negative COVID-19 test 72 hours prior to departure. When they get to Fiji, they won't have to go into quarantine, but they will have to spend 48 hours in a hotel of their choice and then return another negative COVID test. And then from there, they'll be able to travel freely throughout the country in designated travel safe zones. So this exciting news comes with the announcement that Fiji has reached 80% of its population having been fully vaccinated, the country achieving that target 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
So that's a good news there, that it's reached its target 3 weeks ahead of schedule, and that's why this opening. Sorry, I thought I saw that.
That's really fantastic. Thank you for that, Umeshji. Next is from Malaysia. So Malaysia is the largest country to ease border restrictions due to strong vaccination rate as well. So with the country Prime Minister this week reintroducing all the interstate and overseas travel for citizens, he made the announcement last weekend in a speech celebrating the achievement of 90% adult vaccination target. So Malaysians now can travel freely within the country as well as abroad without using the previous travel pass scheme, but a mandatory 14 days quarantine period remains in force for the people who are coming back. Next is from Vietnam. So Vietnam is also opening up, guys. So selected destination in Vietnam will now reopen for foreign tourists in December, with the officials confirming the restart of visitation from the low-risk countries and in the coming months. And the earlier plan to reopen the island Phuket to tourists this month has been delayed until November for now due to sluggish vaccination rollout. But very soon we'll be able to go to Vietnam as well by the sounds of it. So that's really fantastic news. Next is from Emirates. They have partnered with the travel track firm UTU as a part of what is being claimed to be the biggest app reveal in the history of tax-free shopping. So the status partnership sees the shopping travelers quickly and easily can buy the stuff, and where GST refund can also be done from the phone, upsize the refund by 25% and receive it in terms of Emirates Skyward miles as well. So when everything opens up, guys,
Yes.
you are to do a shopping and also save lots of things. And I think I really like the idea that you can claim that GST and VAT refunds through your code and through the app as well. So really, really fantastic news. Next from Singapore Airlines. So they have added San Francisco in its global vaccinated travel lane network with the daily non-stop services designated as a quarantine-free effective from 20th of October. That means just 5 days from now. So Korea has also announced the launch of the seasonal services to Vancouver and Seattle, and with the triangular route to operate 4 times weekly in the sky season from 2nd December as well. And 2nd December to 15th February 2022, there will be heaps of flights to these destinations. And about India as well, they are showing schedules from December. So hopefully if everything opens up, then we might have a Singapore flight up running. That's something which Australians really love to fly, especially to India. Next is from Venice. So European low-cost carrier Ryanair and Brit Air has now confirmed plans to both open their bases in Venice Metropole Airport with a host of new routes across the continent and expected to launch as a result. So they are planning to have a delivery of around 55 new aircraft and opening and having lots of new routes all around Venice and Europe. Next one from IATA. So IATA has announced a new Center for Excellence for Independent Validators, that means CEIV, lithium battery certification program. So that's really amazing. I think whenever you guys must be flying, you must be seeing that, whether you have a lithium battery or not, but this time they have got this amazing program. So with the aim of improving the safe handling and transport of the lithium batteries right across the supply chain. So lithium batteries are critical power sources for many consumer goods. That's what I just said, with the new program giving shippers and airlines assurances that certified logistic companies operate to the highest safety and security standards. So after an intensive pilot period, FCVA Logistics is the first operator to formally receive the CEIV battery certification and covering its operations in Hong Kong and Amsterdam airports already. So there are really lots of things happening at the back. That's what I thought I'll share with you guys this news as well, because you might see in future that your batteries have CEIV certification or a logo over there as well. And not only that, guys, the cruises are opening up. And there are so many cruises who have got, so many amazing itinerary. And this time I thought, let me share with you the P&O Cruises. Australia have also launched 28-day tour Australia Explore itinerary departing in June 2024. And also they have some parts in 2023 as well. So cruise is the first of its kind domestic sailing by P&O Australia, giving guests a chance to experience 11 iconic Aussie ports abroad Pacific Explorer, and the voyage will depart from either Sydney or Brisbane. They're still in decision, but really fantastic that in 28 days, we all can go in our backyard and enjoy this 11 iconic places. And people who are really waiting to come to Australia from overseas can have advantage of that as well. So this is the main update from international relations.
That is amazing, wonderful. Cruises always excite me. It's wonderful to see that is all going to be happening soon. And the two areas, Sydney or Brisbane, that you could be jumping on that P&O cruise liner. How exciting is that? Well, okay, right now in these times, what are your expert tips for people?
So definitely, guys, it's good. Please keep checking, all the rules and regulations of the state. Don't forget to do your VAT check-in. If you're flying from Australia to India in any of the commercial flights, or even you're taking any domestic flight from Australia in India, it is very, very important that you do your VAT check-in. Because sometimes airlines, prepone, postpone, and there are some little bit changes happens. So you would be aware before you leave. Other thing, guys, please make sure you join those groups as well. So if you are stuck in India, then join Australians, Indians stuck in Australia, Australians stuck in India. These pages also gives you lots of bits and pieces, tips every now and then. And if you guys have any question, you can post it there too. And please don't forget to fill all the forms before you leave, because every now and then I hear people have not filled the forms, and if they go to airport and say we haven't filled, and they're a very long process. So as you already know, we always send you a checklist if you're flying from Australia to India or India to Australia. There are the links, instructions, everything which you need to follow. Once again, please don't take it lightly, because sometimes you can be lucky that you can fill those things online. And as I mentioned before, these applications and website doesn't work properly on your phone as well. So if you have laptop with you, you might be able to do it if you have a time. And sometimes if you are coming from India to Australia and filling that Australian declaration form, it takes forever because it just doesn't upload and go. And sometimes there are so many people at the time on the website that you're not able to fill it. Also, those who are filling that Air Suvidha form self-reporting from Australia to India, please note that the PDF is not you're not able to attach it. It says that there is a PDF you have to attach, which should be less than 1 megabyte. But in this case, you can just attach JPG because that will have a smaller size, or you can just take a photo from your phone and attach it. But make sure it has to be submitted, because I came across someone yesterday and he said I tried 4 or 5 times, it didn't work. So I went like this, and airlines didn't let me go in, had to do it last minute. Please make sure that when they say it has to be submitted, doesn't matter there is an error coming or something, it's a very last minute thing that you might negotiate that didn't work. But I know that if you try different systems or if you try different formats, it always works, and it's a lot of hassle if you go through it. So please make sure you fill all the forms before you leave. Once again, from Australia to India, your COVID test needs to be done 72 hours before international flight. Must have a passport number, and India to Australia is 48 hours before international flight. So these are the bits and pieces, guys, which you can always check, and they are very, very important. And hopefully very soon, we probably don't need to do any of these things. We'll be going like a fly like a bird, I would say. So yeah, things are easing up, and I think just let's hope that in November New South Wales opens and then rest of the world. There's one question which I missed to add, which many people asked, that what will happen if New South Wales border opens from India to Australia? You come to Sydney and need to go to different state, what will happen? So guys, the answer of this question is there is no clarity at the moment what will happen. We have to wait for really borders to open and see what they're going to do for different state. You might have to do still maybe quarantine in Sydney, or they might allow you to go to different state. But it's really very unclear, because this is a question we ask for so many people. So I thought I'll just take touch base. Other than that, everything is fantastic. If you like this particular episode, please share with your family and friends. You can copy the link as well and share all your friends on on WhatsApp, on WhatsApp groups. You can make the stories on Instagram or here. And please let us know. We are really excited that we completed 1 year already today. Your feedback is really, really very important for us to take this episode to the next level and make sure you are getting really words out of it. That's really very, very important. So yeah, if you like this episode, please share with your family and friends. Please don't forget to share our page as well and give us the feedback about your experience. If there is anything which you haven't seen, you want us to add, we are definitely happy to add. So just be happy and let us know if there is anything we can help. And once again, it doesn't matter you have booked with us or not. Myself, my team is there with you. We'll be helping you out throughout the thing. That what documents need to be filled and everything. And you can always call on the hotline, which is 040-440-3264. You can see all our landlines as well. We have for Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane as well. And you can jump on our Facebook, which is All India Travel. You can write me on the Facebook page or direct message, or jump on our website. We have a callback options and so many platforms you can message us, and we are there for you. So I hope you all have a fantastic time. And see you all next week. Thank you.
And thank you very much once again, Tanvi, for this wonderful session once again. It's been very, very informative, and I'm pretty sure that the information provided is very, very useful and very timely. And as you have rightfully mentioned that, if people need to do something, they need to start acting now or start planning now, because things will speed up. Things will be quite different moving forward as the restrictions have begun to ease. And once again, all the blessings of Mataji on this occasion. Of course, Navratri, then moving on to Dosmi, and then will be Dasera coming up, and all these festive seasons. And wonderful to see you there in the festive mode, in the sari, in the festive costume. So that's wonderful.
That's right, but I should sari like a mother in front of you all. So you remember, yes, we are from India. Even though we live in Australia, we live every single thing we used to do in India. So yes, we are really very proud Indian Australians. And yes, please enjoy the festivities from now.
And rightfully said, we do uphold all our customs and traditions here, and many times even more so than what we used to probably do back home, because here we feel that this is the time we really need to connect, because there we know that it is there, that right here, because these are very important to us. So whenever there's function and festival, we really like to go out and join. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. And if there is any feedback, please do send us a message via the comment section, because that is very important. It is very important that we know how we're going, or what else would you like to see on the show. Once again, Tanvi, thank you so much, and congratulations on completing the 52nd episode.
Thank you so much, Umesh. Thank you, everyone. Stay happy and blessed. Namaste.